You're showing up week after week. You're pouring your heart into your podcast and still wondering if anyone's actually listening. Those downloads have stalled. No one's giving you feedback. There's no engagement, but you have that little glimmer of hope because there are still reviews, great reviews. People are still giving you feedback, but it is so rare. So if you're tired of speaking into the silence, wondering if people are listening, wondering if people are getting anything out of it, it's time to learn how to turn your show into a true community builder. And this is something that most podcasters are missing because they've either one, just focused on the money, two, just focused on what they want to preach at you, and three, forgot how magical this platform is to truly build that community that we're craving inside. So are you ready? Let's go. Welcome to Beyond the Downloads, the show that dives deeper than stats and charts to reveal the real impact of your podcast. I'm Jennifer Dragonette, founder of the Bold Action Collective, where we believe that bold moves truly spark transformation. Each week, we explore how your unique story, passion, and purpose can create powerful connections that will change lives, yours and those of your listeners. If you're ready to go beyond the metrics, embrace bold action, and unleash the life raft potential of your podcast, you're in the right space. Let's go. So when I started podcasting, I thought consistent content was the key to growth, but all I got was crickets. However, I got something else because remember my situation was I was in a relationship where I wasn't allowed to have community, to have connection, to have friends. I was dictated. So this opened up my eyes to seeing podcasting a little bit differently than most people. I realized that podcasting wasn't about publishing. It was about connection. And this was the loophole that I needed at that time in my life that has also allowed me to continue to build that connection. So once I started shifting my focus to building relationships, everything changed. And the DM started, the friendship started to build, my business started to grow. And that was when my community started showing up. And that's what I want for you. I mean, let's be real about how I ended up inside the podcast realm when it comes to sharing my gifts with the world and teaching you how to use podcasting to share your message, grow an audience, make some money, do all the things. It truly is that I, again, started it to build that community. That community fell in love with me. My podcast started growing, ended up in a clubhouse room with a bunch of people just networking because this was when we were locked inside. And that person was like, "Oh, Jen, you know something about podcasting. Do you have a podcasting course?" And everybody in that room was so interested that I was like, of course I have a podcasting course. And of course I teach this. I mean, I am ranking number 52 in the top podcast right now. So like, yeah, I got this. Note to self and to everyone out there, I did not. But with it, by the time that meeting on Clubhouse was over, I had created a generic sales page for how to launch your podcast for it to profit. And by 72 hours, my beta test group was sold out. Yeah, I mean, that's the power of building community. And I had built that community. I had found that person. I had ended up in those clubhouse rooms because I started a podcast purely on guesting, knowing that this way, at least I could be talking to other people as I grew. Great way to meet people, great way to connect, great way to ask questions, great way to borrow audiences, share audiences, and make lifelong connections. And a lot of those people, if you can tell, I'm not on social media yet. I'm not consistent with my podcast, which is terrible for somebody who teaches podcast strategy. But my business actually fills 95% from the past episodes on this show and from word of mouth, because I've built a community through podcasting. So I want to like go through this with you of how can podcasting help you build a strong and engaged community when there aren't the downloads, when there aren't the numbers, when you're like, I have to market the crap out of this. Maybe it's time to look at things a little bit differently. So first, your voice is what builds trust fast. So you have to think about the different platforms, right? When you're on social media, we're doom scrolling. We're quick hitting. We're not normally looking for the full answer. We're looking for that like quick hit. Boom, 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 boom. What we need to do is start thinking about like, okay, when they come to my podcast, they're committed. They know what they want. Your show is what's giving it to them. So we have to build that trust from your words and making sure that you're showing up. So this is your tone, your emotion, your truth. This is giving you the space to really be you instead of that like polished, quick version on social media. They might be looking for a solution of like how to lose weight fast, how to grow your podcast. And you hit them with a quick hit on social media, but then you're here listening to this because you know I go deeper. You know I give you the strategy behind it and the why and the how it feels in your body and how to use it for your business. So this is where you get to show up 100% as yourself, real and perfect. And it might even be a healing tool for you. I know I have other shows that I share what's going on in my life because it's like I'm being witnessed for the crap that's going on and celebrated for the wins. And it's been very healing for me. So you get to create that trust that's outside that written content where there's that tone, that context, that feel, that, ooh, juicy, I am nurturing you. I'm getting to know you feel, and then there's that consistent. The second one is this consistency creates a ritual. I preach this and I don't follow it. I should follow it, but I am truly editing so many podcasts on the back end in my production company right now that note to self, time to hire. But that consistency is what creates ritual. We are creatures of habits. Have you ever heard of habit stacking? Have you ever done habit stacking? Your podcast becomes part of that habit stack if you are consistent. That means when your podcast drops at the same time every week, that your audience can count on it. Maybe they're on their way to drop their kid off at a certain thing on that day that you drop. Maybe that's what they listen to on their way to work that morning. You become part of their ritual. So when you don't show up consistently, you lose that. And you know how hard it is to come back from breaking that ritual, breaking that habit. It's hard. It's like creating that rhythm. And all of a sudden you're like, hiccup. Sorry, it's hard to get that rhythm back. And that's why people stay loyal to what feels reliable, what feels safe. So you have to think of like consistency of that quality. If you can't put out quality every week, do bi-weekly. If you can't put it out then, give them like, hey, spring, I'm going to drop 6 episodes for you for spring. Then I'm going to drop 6 episodes for you for winter. You're going to have to remind them. You're going to have to get them back in there. But what you're doing is you're telling them what consistency they can count on for you. So you can invite with your voice. Whether I'm talking to you like this and we're like, let's go, let's go, let's go. Or I'm like, hey, come in. Trust me. I want to be with you. I want to make this work. Let's do this. Like invite them to have a conversation with you. That's with your tone of the voice. And that's actually asking for feedback, prompt questions. Get listeners to submit audio clips to you. Like, hey, you have something that you want to ask me? Send me a DM. Ask it to me and say your name if you have a podcast and ask your question. Guess what? The people that do that, I will actually pull that DM voice note and I will plug it into my episode. So that's free advertising for your show if you have a question. You can do the same thing for yours. You can ask it for DMs, emails, reaching out to you in a private group. Like you can do a promotion of like, leave me a message or leave me a review on Apple and I will shout you out. There's a lot of ways that you can get this feedback and start engagement and make space for your audience. Again, building a business is about another human that's going to buy your stuff and that trusts you. And I'll buy from my friends. Some of my friends can say, hey, here's this polished turd, but I absolutely love it. Here's why. Guess what? I'm probably going to buy that polished turd because I trust them. And then you got to start thinking beyond the mic. It doesn't just stop at me recording this, me doing some marketing, blah, 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 blah. You got to figure out how to get that conversation going, invite them into something. If you're somebody who does like in-person stuff, do like a once a quarter freebie to get people in. Like, hey, everybody, let's have a meetup for free. Or maybe your meetups cost something. Or maybe you're somebody who likes to do online meetups. Maybe do one once a quarter. They don't have to be all the time, but allow your people to like really follow up with you. Hey, I want to have a conversation with you. You can go send me a DM on Facebook or Instagram, jen.dragonette. I'm always in there. I'm an open book. Ask me questions. And if you ask me a question that I can't just respond to, I'll be like, okay, wait for next week. let me put that on a podcast and I'll give you the whole behind the scenes, the whole how to via a podcast. But I'm an open book. I share, I overgive, which is fine because that's also what's building my business on the back end without me having to always be showing up. And share the real behind the scenes. Like this fake polished bull that we're seeing online is really damaging to people because they think that's truly how it is, and it's not. We can't keep doing that. So I want you to share real behind the scenes of your business, the good, the bad, the ugly, and those little tidbits that make you celebrate, and those little tidbits that make you sit on the bathroom floor, cry, and say, why did I even start my podcast? Why did I get into this entrepreneurship thing? I'm just going to go work for someone else again. And then you realize, oh my God, I can't work for someone else. I got to make this work. No plan B, people. So if you're struggling with that, like leaning in, the more transparent you are, that builds that connection. That's why podcasting is so great. You like building that connection, make them feel like part of your journey and make them feel like it can be part of their journey to get to the next transition, transformation step that they want in their life. So podcasting is more than just a content machine. It really is a connection tool. This is why Feed Your Business with Love. It used to be Feed Your Body with Love. My first podcast was 100% interview based because I wanted to build a community. There's ways to build a community. Podcasting is actually pretty open arm to let other people in, cross promote, share, and build with each other. So I want you to stop focusing on more listeners and start nurturing the ones that you even have. Even if you have 10 listeners, I want you to do that. Try to build a way for them to connect with you. Build a community that doesn't just listen. It moves through life with you. This is one thing that you can do that really makes it feel good, like you're actually accomplishing something with this crazy thing called podcasting. So your action step, I want you to pick one listener, someone who's commented on your things, shared it, or even followed that you know of, and send them a quick thank you message or voice note. And I want you to just react to how this simple touch point creates a real connection and movement in your business. Because you doing that is going to spark something in them that's going to be like, wow, this person cares. They don't just think I'm a number. And then you're going to be someone they're going to recommend in the future. You're going to be someone that's like, oh my goodness, this is different. So if you're ready to turn your podcast into a connection engine for your business, I want you to get in the show notes and book a CPR audit with me. This is clarity, purpose, and revenue. This is where we're going to identify what's missing, what's working, and how to create a podcast and business that align, that's actually going to move you forward to build the community, the life, and the business that you actually enjoy showing up for without that crazy burnout. So guess what? Next time, we're going to talk about the biggest mistake I see podcasters make when trying to grow their audience. And there's a lot of them. And I have done all of them personally. So how to avoid falling into these growth traps that are going to leave you spinning your wheels, hanging out on that hamster wheel, and feeling like giving up. So I will see you next time. Go out and make today amazing because you are beautiful, you are wonderful, you are worthy. Now go do the thing. And bonus points if you are listening to this on July 1st because it is happy birthday to me. If you sang happy birthday, I want an audit inside one of my DMs, you reach out to me or you leave me a happy birthday review, I will give you 50% off of your audit. If you've listened to the end, you'll get that birthday message. Happy birthday to me. This is 42. Now go do the thing.